So Rolling Stone has another one of their greatest lists of the 21st century. We're 25 years into the century. It's kind of weird because it just feels like Y2K wasn't that long ago, but that's a long time ago. So most of these lists, like greatest R&B and greatest this and greatest that, and most of the times I disagree with the lists. There's stuff I liked, but I'm just curious about how do they judge these lists? So the latest one, as I think they had 250 of the greatest songs of the 21st century. And the number one song is Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On. Now listen, I love Missy. In a lot of ways, a lot of these lists that Rolling Stone has had earlier this year, they kind of screwed over Missy because Missy did a lot of her damage before streaming. Her, Eminem, it was just selling left and right. But the way Rolling Stone they combine streaming and all that stuff, it's like, that stuff can be manipulated. I like straight up sales. So on some of these lists, Missy got screwed over, and maybe they say, you know what? Maybe we need to give Missy some love, so they made "Get Your Freak On" the number one song of the century. Now listen, I love Missy Elliott. I love the combo of her and Timbo. I love that whole crew of Missy and Timbo and Aaliyah and Genuine. Static Major as a producer, like I love them. Missy Elliott to me should be considered in the GOAT conversation when it comes to female rappers, because it seems like the younger fans are kind of interesting because they'll just say it's Nicki Minaj and that's it. And it's like, Nicki's great. I love Nicki, but man, Missy should be in that conversation for the GOAT. As far as like visuals, pushing music and R&B and hip hop and pop, Missy's great. So part of me, I'm looking at this number one thing and say like, yeah, give it to Missy. She deserves it. But I don't know if it's the greatest song of the 21st century. And I'm looking at the whole list, and there's a bunch of songs. Like Lose Yourself by Eminem is low. Lose Yourself is great. Crazy in Love is in the top 10 by Beyonce. Toxic by Britney Spears is around in the top 10. I enjoy those songs greatly. As always, they throw Frank Ocean in there. They always throw in Frank Ocean. Has anybody seen that, brother? They got Frank Ocean in the top 10. Blinding Lights by The Weeknd is like way down the list. So there's a lot of songs that you can consider for this. Gasolina by Daddy Yankee. I love Gasolina. But for me, the song that should be number one is actually number 4 on the list. And that's Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Jack White and Meg White. Meg's on drums, Jack's on guitar and bass. You can't go a weekend, especially now since it's college football season, and not hear Seven Nation Army at some stadium. Back when LeBron was part of the Big Three with the Heatles, that was like their song. For me, I was a fan of that song way before they started playing in stadiums, way before they started playing in arenas. I was a fan of the White Stripes. And that video, that red and white video from 2003, 2004 is still an amazing piece of art. As Martin Scorsese would say, cinema. I don't know how the director even put that together. The way those images kept on going in and out. Oh my God, in the triangle. That alone made that video iconic just from the visuals. And then the bass line. I got my. Now, was it a hit song? It was a hit song. But I don't know if it was a major hit song back then, but it was a hit song. But if you would have told me that song back in 2004 would still be played in 2025 in arenas and stadiums, I was like, why? What? How does that crossover happen? Because the White Stripes weren't like Eminem. They weren't like big, huge crossover acts. Like, no, they weren't like Taylor Swift today. Like Jack and Meg did great, but they weren't like a major act. Like they weren't like Coldplay. Like Coldplay, if they had Coldplay like Clocks in number one, I said, well, okay, well, Coldplay was a big band, still a big band, so it makes sense. The White Stripes wasn't like that. Like, they were popular, but not super popular. But somehow Seven Nation Army, Seven Nation Army clicked with people. Somebody started playing it. It might have started with the Heat. It might have started in college football. It might have started in college basketball. I don't know. But Seven Nation Army is just one of those songs that even like my dad, he don't know nothing about the White Stripes. He's never seen that video before. But if I played that song for him, he would recognize it just by watching sporting events and hearing that sound. Dun, 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 dun. I got my. So for me, just by sheer pop culture impact, I'm going with Jack White, Meg White, the White Stripes, which is basically Jack, and Seven Nation Army. Not to take anything away from Missy. I love me a Missy Elliott. And Get Your Freak On, if it was in number 2, I'll be cool with that. If it was number 3, I'll be cool with that. And I'm fine with it being number 1 because I love that song a lot. I love it. And I think the story of that song was it was like the last song they did on that album. I think Timbo had that backwards part looped, and Missy heard it. It's like, what's that? I was like, I don't know. But yeah, Missy said, I believe that Get Your Freak On was the last song off that album, which was a tremendous album. Go through Missy's discography, like from when she first came out, like 96, 97, like all the way through that album with Get Your Freak On. It's even after that. I say go from like 96 to 05. Go get all Missy stuff. She's amazing. She's amazing. But not amazing enough to be number 1 on this list. Shout out to Missy Elliott. Shout out to Meg White. Shout out to Jack White. Shout out to the White Stripes.